This is Steve Schiffman. I want to thank you again for joining me on this webcast that we try to put out to give you specific tips that are going to help you be more successful in sales. That's the only thing that I really think about. For you, I want you to be as successful as possible. And so when I make these, I make them short, 10 minutes, give you some tips, and that's it. I'm done. Now, I'd love for you to write to me. You can go to the website, www.steveschiffman.com. You can go online. You can, write to me, email me. You can even telephone me if you want. But more than that, take a look at the books. And don't forget that you can win a book. A free book. I take care of the postage. I take care of the cost. It's nothing to you. But you get a free book if, in fact, you win the contest. But all you've got to do is come up with a secret word. The secret word today is going to be root beer. I love root beer. I really do. I love root beer. But if you want to win the book, just put on your piece of paper, your email to me, root beer. Make sure you give your name and address. Do that so it makes it easier for me. But root beer wins a book. Okay, so let me tell you what happened today. I was coaching some people this morning on video, like I tell you I do. And these guys got into this whole thing, guys, men, women, got into this whole thing about how bad their company was. Well, they don't give us this and they don't do this. They don't allow us to travel. And I listened to it and I thought about that because as somebody who's been in business, someone who's had salespeople work for them, I know what that sounds like. It sounds terrible. There's no way that if you're complaining about your company, that you're not successful because of them. You complain, and therefore you're not going to be successful. That is the worst thing you can do because it comes through. But people do it. Now, the guys are bad, the management's bad, they don't care about us. Well, the truth of the matter is they do care about you because as a salesperson, you bring in money to the company. That's your job. Your number one job is to bring in money, bring in revenue. And the revenue produces or tells the producers what to manufacture or what they have to sell. So your job is crucial. You know that. You're the beginning. You're the front line of the whole process. But if you complain about it, which we tend to do, it's not going to work because you're going to say that to somebody at the wrong time. I'll give you a quick story because it's relevant. A long time ago, I was going for a job interview, and I was in the elevator of this particular company. And to make a long story short, I'm there. Well, there are several women who got in the elevator, and one of them talked about the fact that she gave the skills test to new applicants. That was her job. She was part of HR, and she gave the skills test. And she talked to her friend standing right there, and I'm right behind them, about what stupid, as she put it, stupid people did on the skills test and what mistakes they made. I'm listening to this. I'm hearing the whole, and I'm going to take this the next day. I think I had just gone on an interview and they scheduled it. So I'm taking it the next day, the skills test. But I knew what the issue was. And she said, company's crazy and they do this thing and they hire the wrong people. And I'm thinking to myself, well, boy, is this where I want to work? The point that I'm making is you don't know who's listening to you. You don't know who's behind you. In that case, it was me. I was behind her. I was listening. I mean, she's talking about it. It dawned on me she's giving that. And the next day, just as I'm predicting, she walked in and gave me the test, which I passed because it wasn't that difficult in the first place. But here's the point. If you're knocking your company, if you're saying to me, your sales manager doesn't know what he or she is doing, which people do say, or you're the sales manager and you're saying, well, my reps don't know what they're doing, he or she are doing, you're not going to really speak the same language. Now listen to this. The most important thing is the salespeople and management have to speak the same language. They have to, and I don't mean language in the certain language, but what's a prospect? How do you define it? What's the chances of it closing? How do you put that in perspective so management can help you? Most people don't speak the same language. They'll say, well, I got a great hot prospect. And I go, well, when are you going to go back? Well, I'm not going to go back for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months, but it's hot. Yeah, really? But that's not the issue. I don't want to get into the definitions right now. What I want to get into is, what are you saying about your company when you knock it? You're not saying good things. It's not good. It's not productive for you or for anybody else who's thinking of buying from you. You got to stop that. You got to find things that work. Now, here's the issue. Let's say, legitimately, management is not sensitive to you as a salesperson. Well, you've got two things to do. Only two things. One, quit. I say that in the big speeches when I do this stuff. I say, listen, if your company isn't responsible to you, or responsive, and they're not giving you what you want, then quit. And everybody goes, quit? I go, yeah, quit. You don't like it here, quit. And they react. They're very funny about that. People are funny. And I say, quit. And I said, I'm the only one that's going to say that. Quit. Or figure something else out. What else can you do? How can you do it? How can you manage it differently? If they're not helping you, you have to figure out a way to do it. Get a book. Get a book. Figure out your life. Figure out what you want to do. And then go do it. You're not dependent on anybody else telling you what to do or how to do it. You can create your own world. Now, I've heard from reps that, well, they've developed a script that gets them in the door, and they have a style of selling, and some of the managers don't like it. You know what? Do it anyway. If you're selling, no one's going to give you a hard time. If you've got $1 million in your pocket, no one asks about your credit rating. You've just got to develop a style for you that's going to make sales. That's all that matters. But if you're going to blame everybody, well, it's raining out, it's snowing out, it's crummy weather, it's too hot. If you're going to use that as an excuse, well, management doesn't care, you're not going to be successful. And success is really what we're talking about. Now, there are a lot of definitions of success. You know that, and I know that. Sometimes definition of success is simply getting through the day. For other people, it's making $1 billion. It's okay. I don't care. I don't care what you call it. Success to me is being happy, feeling satisfied, feeling that you've done something well. So figure out how to do it. Sit down today, tomorrow. Take a piece of paper and start out by writing what you want to accomplish. Years ago, someone said to me, write out your own obituary. Well, I freaked out on that. I said, you're kidding me. But I've been telling people to do the same thing ever since. Because when I wrote that, I listed what I was going to do. I said, I'm going to have a publishing company, books. I'm going to have a training company. I did. I'm going to be a professional trainer. I am. I'm going to be international. I am. I'm going to be based in New York, Chicago, L.A., Toronto. I am. These are all things you can do. Anyway, remember the word, the phrase, send it in. Root beer, send it in. You get a free book. And also, don't forget, I'm with Tony Robbins on August 18th, 19th in Edison, New Jersey. So if you want to join us, get tickets and join us. Or you just want to call and say, hey, I could use some help. I could use some help coaching. Call me. You can find me in the book. You can find, not the book, you can find me. Nobody uses a phone book. You can find me. Go online. Go on LinkedIn. By the way, link in with me. Or Facebook with me. Write something nice. I love that. I'd like to hear you say something nice. But if you don't think it's nice, you want to write something negative, tell me, hey, you know what? You do this all wrong. I'll buy that. But whatever you do, make sure you're doing it for yourself. Make sure you are the success that you want to be. You got our tips for today? I only got 2 minutes, 2 seconds. You got your tip? You know what you're going to do, right? You're not going to knock your company anymore. So this is Steve Schiffman. I want to thank you for joining us. And as I always tell you, you humble me by your attendance.